Well, welcome and good morning. Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I'm Keith Reynolds, your host, filling in for Mark Cook this morning. As usual, we always have an action-packed show for you guys just tuning in to us. Today, you know what? We're going to start it off with I'll say a bang, a drum, something like that. We have Mark Stinger from the Mark Stinger Band. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
So, musician. I love interviewing musicians.
Guilty as charged.
You got 10 million stories, I'm sure. So Mark, before we get into all the goody stories, tell me a little bit about, how'd you get into being a musician? How long have you been doing it?
Oh, what time is it? Yeah, I guess, God, I've been doing it my whole life. Started as a, little teenager, I guess. Young, maybe even before that. Just
Okay.
coming home, but after school, and just banging on the drums.
Cool. So now you're a drummer.
Yes.
Because I remember where I grew up at, there was those kids that just, how you're just born a musician or born whatever you're going to be. And I remember, in elementary school, you got to pick those whatever instruments you wanted to play, and all the cool guys always picked the drums, And then I remember in the neighborhood, it's like one or two kids that played the drums. You can hear them all through the neighborhood. Were you that kid?
Yeah, God bless parents that raise drummers, right?
Absolutely. The drummers
Unless
in the
you're the
garage.
neighbor.
Yeah, unless you're the neighbor. So you've been doing it your whole life. I mean, is there like anybody that maybe inspired you to do it, or maybe at the time era that you grew up in?
Yeah, well, I could just tell you, coming up, I like the character and the, I would say like John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, Keith Moon from The Who, and not just, especially with Keith, not so much the technique, but just that whole rock and roll persona.
Rock and roll.
Because they kind of like, was it on Sesame Street? They kind of modeled Animal after Keith Moon.
Yeah.
So like, I guess when I was younger, it was just kind of looked like a fun thing. And then and then as the years go on, just it kind of falls into your rhythm,
Okay.
and it becomes part of what you do.
Now I got to ask you this because I did do the drums, but I only played the snare drum.
Okay.
What kind of drums are there? Like when you say drummer,
Yeah.
what a drum set consisted of what? Because they're different sizes and whatever.
Whatever I get my hands on.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, they started us out on the pads, the little
Okay.
pads, and they're like, it's going to sound like just. You'll see. It'll really sound great. It'll be loud. It'll be great. So you start out on the pad, most people do, or pillows.
Right.
But yeah, guy went away. Guy went away, joined the army, and his parents listed a set for sale in the carrier, and we went over and looked at it, and it was a really nice kid, and and my parents were nice enough to grab it. And
Cool.
That was it, yeah. And it's just been banging on ever since.
Now, do you have because I know some of my buddies that was part of the thing growing up as a kid. You had to take piano lessons for some people. Like, did you have to take lessons as a kid like that?
I didn't. No, I didn't. A couple of my brothers and sisters took lessons. So, they're all like a house full of piano players and
Right.
a drummer.
A drummer.
And the drummer.
You were the rebel.
I don't know. I was the.
You know what? It's funny.
I was the guy that couldn't play piano.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny because with rock and roll, they weren't that crazy drummer. Like, people don't realize it, but unless you follow like Phil Collins, I mean, I think he was a phenomenal drummer. Chester Thompson would fill in for him or whatever. But the thing that gets me is that those drummers were cool when the rock and roll bands. Then you got into like the White Snake era and all those other things, and the drummers were the crazy guys. You know what I mean? It kind of like transitioned over the year. You know what I mean? Now where I think we're back to like in today's world, the drummer's really cool. The cool, smooth guy.
Yeah. Drummers, that's a nice position because I mean, I do both. I sing too, and
Okay, so you do a little vocal.
Yeah. Well, what happened was our singer quit the band,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a gig in 2 weeks.
Yipes.
And the leader of the band, the guitar player, said, "Well, you're going to sing a song." So I was like, I can't sing. And he said, "Well, you're the only one that knows words, and we don't have time to audition a new singer and break them in, and we really want to do this show," and on and on. So there it was.
Wow.
Pushed.
But you did fine, right?
I did okay. And that did all right. And then kind of what really got me into the singing thing was we did a Blues Brothers show.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do the Belushi character.
Right.
And that was
classic.
Yeah, great stuff. Good, a lot of cartwheels. Must have done a couple thousand cartwheels. I was so dizzy there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. We had a lot of fun with the blues, and I got to meet a lot of great people. I got to open up for B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Buckwheat Zydeco, especially Ruth Brown, Charles Brown. We used to open up for rock bands too. Like we opened up with the Hooters. We used to open up for them a lot, and John Eddie, different local rock bands too, Tommy Conwell and Conwell, and but yeah, the whole kind of like Blues Brothers thing kind of started as a kind of like a hoot, you know. We were actually doing singing telegrams before we actually had a band, and all the guys in the neighborhood were like, "Hey, I think these two guys,
You know what? Half the battle's knowing the words, man. If you know the words, because when people try to sing something and then they forget the
right.
I mean, that's the whole thing. If you know the words, I guess you're fine. I mean, there's certain things that you can't hit, I'm sure. What I mean? But you just stay within your, stay in that gray area, as far as how your voice matches up with the song. So.
Yeah. Well, we would always when we would learn songs. Mm-hmm. This was back in the day. You would there was no lyric sheets. There was no
right.
There was no iPads, nothing like that. So you would have a cassette, and basically, if you were doing it, if you were covering a song, mm-hmm. you would play it over, and if you had a line that you were stuck on, if you played it 37 times and you couldn't figure out what that line was, then usually the people in the audience did. so we just kind of look through it, phonetically get through it, and that was actually seemed like it's funny. It's especially English cats, they would tear some stuff up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's just funny stuff if you think about it.
Cool. Well, listen, we got to pay some bills. We're gonna be right back after this commercial break. Right after this in 90 seconds.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
High-achieving students. Internationally renowned faculty. And award-winning alumni. A 226-year history of excellence and a beautiful urban campus. The University of Pittsburgh.
Graduates of our university end up going places. Same goes for our students. Because while our campus may be a launch pad for bigger and better things, it's also a prime destination, filled with sights, sounds, and some pretty good eats. So, while you're preparing to take on the world is right outside your door. Wayne State University. Aim higher.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, filling in for Mark Cook, who should be back tomorrow, I think. But anyway, we're here with our guest, Mark Stinger from Mark Stinger Band. Mark, we were just talking a little bit about the music world and, you know, how you kind of got into it and everything. And we were just laughing during the break because, you know that favorite song that you used to sing or whatever when you were younger, and then you find out and you really see the music to it, the lyrics or whatever, and it really is not those words, it's some other words, you know what I mean?
Singing the wrong words for 30 years.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. But, you know, so you got into a little bit of singing, right?
Right.
Besides the music. Now, you know what I always found fascinating about singers, too, is that, you know, when you're performing, man, you got to have a tight core because to move and sing, you know, you're kind of moving your body, so like air is being forced out of your body just by your movements, and now you're singing. That's pretty good. To do stuff like that, I always, when I see people sing, I'm like, wow, you know. So, tell us a little bit how, like, when you got started, you have problems with that, or?
Yeah, well, I sort of emulated the blues artists.
Right.
So I'm like more like a blues shouter.
Okay, cool.
So it's, you know, I really wouldn't, you know, where people would.
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
not
like I'm not
performing-
classically trained. You know, it doesn't. You know, so but however, you know, like music. Music is a wonderful thing on so many levels.
Right.
You know, everything from, you know, it makes you feel good. You know, when you write, it's therapeutic. Gets stuff out. It does great things for your body, your mind. You come to a gig sore, you know, or I don't feel up to it tonight. You kind of have to rise to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, when you walk out of there, dopamine's going, and you know, you know, adrenaline's flying, and you're feeling good, physically, mentally. You know, as you know that it's, you know, it's proven that it helps you in every process of learning.
Absolutely.
And as we were talking earlier about you had mentioned about the schools. It's a real shame that that's what gets cut. You know?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all the art programs, the music, everything gets cut from the school systems. That's the first thing that gets cut. So,
yeah, so that's kind of a bummer, and I'd like to see something kind of go.
well, you know what?
Actually,
I think you
those
as
programs.
a young person growing up, you know, we used to be kind of well-rounded with a lot of doors that we could walk through. Now I think we're kind of put into this box of learning, and it's, you know, it's English, math, but I don't know, at the end of the day, how, not that I'm not for education, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, there needs to be something else with that. Some other type of mixture that brings out talent. You know, because not everybody's a football star or something like that. You have musicians, you have, you know, doctors and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it just, you really need that blend, you know,
Right. Good
added to
balance,
you. Good
yeah.
balance. It's absolutely. It makes you a better person in the world, to me.
Yeah, well, you know, imagine a world without music.
I couldn't. It would be, honestly, you think about it, you listeners out there, think about it. You know, no matter where you are, some portion of the day you're listening to music. You're getting into a car, you know what, you're out at the gym, you have your iPad or whatever, iPod or whatever it is on you, you know, your phone app, whatever. You're always listening to music.
It's the soundtrack of our lives.
That's right. And you know what, now you mentioned about writing. Do you write a little?
Yeah. We do originals. We do our own music. We also, you know, we do a little of everything.
Okay.
But yeah, was lucky enough in 2010, I made it on the long list.
The long list.
The long list. But it was 161 people, and you know, a lot of the people that were on that list went on and became, you know, went on to pretty successful careers. So it's only a few years ago. But I had a song I submitted it, and it got nominated for a Grammy.
Really?
Yeah, I did as best new artist on the long list. So there was other people in there like Eric Church and Luke Bryan and the Ting Tings and this one, that one, you know. Zach Brown band won that year. But just to be in that
group.
Yeah, that was it. You know, it was just, you know.
That's
It was
cool,
an honor,
man.
you know. I mean, honored to be doing that, you know. But yeah, so you know, we've always written our own music. you know, from the time I was like 15, 16.
Now, you know, writing's got to be kind of like, you know, I think when you start off writing, I mean, is it about, usually it's about life, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like I said, it's self-therapeutic, you know, had to throw something out, you know, like, oh no, nobody can read this, you know, I wish I never did. Yeah, it's very therapeutic, and I'm like a drummer and a lyricist. Like, I just know, you know, a few chords just to kind of get the idea of the song together, you know. But I'll have a melody already, you know, the melody and the words already in my head, and the beat and the groove, and how it's supposed to go.
Now, you guys work out at studios and stuff like that?
Yeah, work out. The last thing we did was with a band called Good Mojo, and where I just played the drums on that with my brother, Kurt. He's on keys, and Anthony Smith on bass, Kurt Bach on guitar, and Joe DeLuca is an organ player. And he's actually, we went to his studio to record. There's a bunch of studios. It's called Why Me Recording in Clementon area. And yeah, he wound up recording the band, and we were having such a good time. He wound up joining the band.
Really?
So he gets out, yeah, and
That's
now he
cool,
records
man.
with us, and
You know, it's got to be tough. You know, you see a lot of these bands and the storylines. You know, I think some of the rock and roll bands stay together forever. You know, and just have that good synergy together. And then, you know, you see some of the movies that, you know, and it's like you know, usually you have an issue with, like, you know, the guitarist or the singer just doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies is, oh my God, Eddie and the Cruisers.
Oh yeah.
Is
Classic.
that the one? That's a classic, man.
That is a classic,
where he
yeah.
just, you know, he struggled with his own things inside his head,
Mhm.
and you know what? The band was so supportive, and even like Prince. Look at Prince's story, you know, where again, you know, he struggles internal. You know, he has this band that's so supportive, but he can't get in, and then finally it works out. But you know,
Mhm.
you see a lot of that stuff. Is that just movie stuff?
No. I've seen it, lived it. You know, had it happen to friends. You know, it's yeah, it's all real. I mean, yeah, I think whenever you're dealing with the creative mind,
Mm-hmm.
you
Absolutely.
you're kind of walking the line there.
They say creative people are a little off a little.
You
It's
know,
okay, but that also makes them creative.
Yeah.
You
It's
know
like
what I mean?
Einstein, what they have to hang up 5 black suits just to get them out the door.
Yeah, so
Take them 3 hours to get out the door.
absolutely.
But I'm not comparing myself to, you know, hardly. But you know what I mean. It's you know, it's, you know, as far as all the real stuff. Yeah, is it all there? Yeah. You know, are they sometimes self-destructive? Yes. Are they a little hard on themselves? Yes. Do they, you know, do they go through everything else that everybody else goes through? Yes. You know, are some of them not quite ready for
Big startup.
you know, a big table full of money and whatever they want? You know, the bucks kind of stops here, like,
Mhm.
you know, with when you speak about like people like Prince or whoever, you know, you can have yes people around you, but when you have all those people depending on you and everything, you're at the center of it all,
Right.
and it kind of, I think it works on a lot of some of those folks, like Elvis and people.
Elvis, we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Absolutely
you know,
tough.
it can become, you know.
It's tough. It's, you know what I mean. You're kind of like that family, that leader, and everything, and you know especially when you're a talent that has, like, you know, such great vision, but you know you want it to be perfect to where you kind of self-destructs because you know a lot of people, like, you know what, if you're sincere about what you're doing,
Sure.
that works.
I mean, that's yeah. I mean, like at this point, I mean, if you're talking about, for me, where I'm at in my life right now, you know, I just had a lot of great experiences, and you find balance for it. Like, in some of the people I play with, I've known for 20, 30 years, and we've been through every phases of life, of different jobs and families and marriages, and
Yeah.
divorces and houses and this, that, and, you know, and that, like, I'm kind of like, I joke around and say we're like heading into the grandfather stage. Like,
Yeah.
like now we're allowed to play again. We're allowed back out of the house to play
Yeah.
because we're not busy, you know,
Raising families.
doing the grind. Yeah.
I hear you, man. I
So
hear you.
so like I joke around. I call it like bowling night, or you know, I joke around with the guys. I said it's starting to look like a Sayals commercial in here when these guys are playing. Might have to cut that, but anyway.
That's funny.
But you know, so it all, I guess it all has a place, you know.
Right.
So we got a house gig at Cadbury, I think. We got coming up.
Cool. Mark, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back with more with Mark Stinger from Mark Stinger Band right after these commercial breaks.
Solano Community College transformed my life.
And gave me the opportunities I needed to succeed.
I received the same university caliber education.
Without the pressures of debt holding me back. Affordable and flexible. I fulfilled my undergraduate classes.
Getting to the information I truly have a passion for.
The decision to attend SCC empowered my future.
And made my dream of attending Yale University a reality. Solano Community College, the educated choice.
Graduates of our university end up going places. Same goes for our students. Because while our campus may be a launch pad for bigger and better things, it's also a prime destination filled with sights, sounds, and some pretty good eats. So, while you're preparing to take on the world is right outside your door. Wayne State University. Aim higher.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
High-achieving students. Internationally renowned faculty. And award-winning alumni. A 226-year history of excellence and a beautiful urban campus. The University of Pittsburgh.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Well, welcome back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee. For you just tuning in, we are here with Mark Stinger from the Mark Stinger Band, and we were just talking some music. And Mark, you know, we were wrapping up a little bit about bands and, you know, I guess the camaraderie and stuff like that, and how, you know,
Right.
obviously sometimes, you know, components of the band can kind of get mixed up within themselves. So, you know, with the band, you know, and then we want to go into where you guys are going to be playing. But let me, you know, and just to kind of go back to it about the bands, though, you've played for a lot of bands.
Yes.
You know, you've worked with a lot of bands.
Yes.
Tell us some of the bands you worked with.
Oh, shoot. First paying gig, I was 18. That was Risa and the Rooters.
What is it?
Risa and the Rooters.
Rhesus and the Rooters.
Risa and the Rooters, yeah. They were a new wave. Well, I thought I was playing punk rock till she corrected me and said, no, it's new wave. And that was the first time I ever heard the phrase.
Okay.
And that was a great band. We played up and down South Street. We played at like Ripley's and Emerald City. We used to do you know, New Wave night. We opened up for the Buzzcocks and crazy stuff like that. You know, I was 18. I was zipping up and down the coast. You know, playing these little crazy places. And sometimes she'd book us in a, you know, it was just at the advent of that genre of music. You know, so like there was places that were set up for that. You know.
Right.
And then there was other places that were just like, what the hell's that? You know,
What
so
the hell
we
is
had to
that?
fight ourselves out of there a couple of times. But yeah, that was a great, that was a great baptism of fire, I guess. When we were there, I wound up playing drums for a band called Mr. Charlie, and they were a all Grateful Dead cover band.
My bro's a Grateful Dead.
And yeah, we just, it was great. We were, we same thing. It was like Stone Pony and here and there, and I was doing that. There was a bunch of bands that played. We played at the Galaxy. We had a band called Sadie Gray.
Galaxy down in
Somerdale. Yeah. We opened up for Cinderella, their first gig, and like Bon Jovi would come in, and that's when we signed them. And all those metal bands, a lot of them made it. A lot of them did a lot of crazy stuff. The Blues Brothers, I was telling you earlier about that. That was a hoot. That just went on for a while. I mean, we're literally handing out flyers in a mall, and the mall place was like right out of the movie. And we're dressed like the Blues Brothers, totally. I mean, down to the T, And you get a tap on the shoulder. You got to get out of here. No soliciting in the mall. We're handing out flyers for a local gig, and taps on the shoulder, and then just at that split second, this girl comes up and she says, "Oh, are you here for the dance-a-thon?" And I'm like, "Dance-a-thon?" And my partner, Elwood, kicks me on her table. He's like, yeah, dance-a-thon, I was like, "Oh, yeah, dance-a-thon. That's it." So we get escorted to this office where they're setting up for a dance-a-thon at the Cherry Hill Mall, and walk in, and there's these gentlemen sitting at the desk, and they're all organizing this dance-a-thon to raise money, and then they looked up. He says, he looks up. What are you doing here? Book this, book them, book that. He looks up. He looks at the flyers, talking. He goes, "What are you doing next? What are you doing next Wednesday? Or no, what are you doing next Saturday?" I was like, "What are you doing next Saturday?" He said, "No, we're not doing." He says, "Well, you're playing at the Staten Island Mall, open up for Joey Dean, the Starlighters, and the Tokens." I'm like 23, but in the getup, you could look a little older, So we went from getting thrown out of a mall, right, to a week later we're in Staten Island, in the biggest mall at that time that I ever seen. There's just people everywhere, and all the cops got in it because there was that big mall scene with the police chase. They had set a record for most cars smashed, and so everybody got in it. There was local, state, and they all got around. So we came out of the hiding area, and we come out. There had to be like 40 officers all around us, like escorting us to the stage. And the band's already down there playing. Playing time. It's like we get this glass elevator, and it goes down, and there's like thousands of people there. Like we're just getting thrown out of a mall. Right? That's what I was doing. And Elwood's kicking me. He says, "Don't laugh." He's very methodical. He's like, "You can't smile." That was the hardest part.
Not smiling.
I just was. It was just funny. It was like not funny, a little overwhelming. A little funny. And I had a comical twist to the whole thing. So, so we did so much stuff over the years. We were always running back to the studio. We won like $10,000 in a battle of the bands up at David Ivory's place, and we recorded a bunch of demos there. My brother was in the band, but Anthony Smith, who we still play with in Good Mojo and all. His brother was in the Hooters, who they would always try to get us to open up for him, and so yeah, a lot of bands over the years, a lot of jamming, a lot of open mic nights, a lot of just a lot of good stuff, a lot of great people. 2011, we opened up for Bret Michaels at the Art Museum. What else we do? Every year we do the Susan G. Komen, the Race for the Cure, and we've always done.
Give back, man. Give back's important.
Well, we always do. We always it keeps the musicians in line.
Absolutely.
Makes them grateful. They can get a little,
Yeah, I do a lot of give back myself, man. It's important. It's definitely important.
Yeah, we did March Dimes, Variety Club, Old Newsboys Day, just over the years, different ones, and you always get approached, as a musician and entertainer, you always get approached to do these things. And it's, you know, we always did them. It just, you know, so it's a good thing to give back a little bit, and it keeps the musicians humble.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it keeps everybody.
Keeps the guy in the band humble.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Mark, we're at this time in the show because it goes so fast, but we got to ask our guests to look out at camera 3 over here and tell the audience where they find you, how they can catch up with you.
All right, you can catch up with us on Facebook, of course. Facebook, Twitter, Mark Stinger Band, Twitter, Instagram, Reverb Nation, YouTube, YouTube. What's our channel? Mark Stinger Videos on YouTube.
Okay.
MarkStinger.com. What else? I think that's most of it. Bands in town.
Okay.
If you don't like to go on Facebook, you can get emails sent to you.
Right.
So yeah, and we're going to be in we're in Mount Laurel now. We're going to be in Mount Laurel, not right here, but down the road a little bit.
Where are you at in Mount Laurel?
We're going to be at Brewster's.
Brewster's, okay.
At Tony Luke's Laurel Lane's there.
Yeah, they came onto the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the bowling alley did. Yep.
Oh, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. So yeah, we're going to be there the day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and we'll also be there on New Year's Eve. And you know, the Jug Handle, Kaminsky's, Red Hot and Blue, the Lakeside, Gloria's Lakeside down in Sicklerville, and basically, you know, wherever they'll let us.
Very good, very good.
But yeah, come on out, it's a good time.
All right, cool. So we're going to go to commercial break, and we're going to be back with some more morning coffee right after this.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.